I just had one very grim thought, and I apologise for sharing this with you. It was while I was listening, actually, to that clip of Donald Trump, whose speech was he in Michigan yesterday? Even by his standards, absolute gibberish. I mean, beyond any sort of rational analysis. But then we are, of course, in so many areas of politics, beyond rational analysis. But something suddenly occurred to me. We have asked many, many times, in the context of Brexit, actually, but also in the context of Donald Trump, what happens when these people realise that their lives aren't the way they are because of immigration? You know, so much political capital has been expended in the last few years on blaming immigration for domestic problems. In the context of the United Kingdom, this is, I'm afraid, on every government, looking back to 79 probably, every government has allowed the idea that immigration is the reason why your waiting lists have got longer or your class sizes have got bigger, whereas in fact you plot the public spending during that period, especially since 2010, and it's clearly not true, especially when you look at tax take and the very simple issue of workers who happen to have been born somewhere else paying more if they're from the EU into the Treasury than workers who happen to have been born here. But that debate is in the fridge for the time being. The reason I mention it is because it's obvious. It's so obvious. You sat here thinking you're being all clever. So, well, I'll tell you what worries me, ladies and gentlemen. What worries me is where will they turn their spotlight next after scapegoating immigration and it's scapegoating immigrants? If Brussels or Polish plasterers or Bulgarian paramedics don't turn out to be the reason why your life hasn't gone the way it's gone, or why you feel aggrieved, you feel ignored, you feel uncared for, who are they going to blame it on next? Because the people they're blaming it on now are clearly not to blame. And Donald Trump has just provided the answer. He now talks about Democrats in the way that he used to talk about Mexicans and migrants. Presumably, he's just a couple of campaign speeches away from claiming that all Democrats are gangsters or rapists, as he did with Mexicans. So Trump, I think, might win the next election if his health holds up, for the very simple reason that his base have been completely persuaded already that the enemy at the gates, it's no longer Mexicans or migrants or Muslims, it's now Americans. Oh man, that's grim. It's true though, isn't it?